Hey everyone, it's Coach Dave March here, and in this video I really want to dive deep into the difference between a career coach, working with a career coach to get your next position, and working with a staffing agency. I think that there's just so much knowledge here that people don't have access to, and they don't really understand the differences between a staffing agency and a career coach to really get you to the position that you want. And the biggest thing I want to talk about is risk. When you think about a staffing agency and how it works, right? The staffing agency engages with a company that has an open position, and they sign an agreement with this company to have the company pay the staffing agency 20 to 25% of an annual salary. And so that's your standard fee. And the candidate, of course, does not pay that. The candidate gets the position. But let's say there's a $200,000 position, that's 20%. So we're talking about $40,000 to the staffing agency from the company to get this position filled. So notice it's about the position being filled, and the candidate is somewhat of a commodity. The objective is to fill the position. So if there's a particular candidate that doesn't work, goodbye. I mean, that's not the goal. The goal is to speak to as many people as possible so they can find the right person that can fit the role and then showcase it to the hiring manager. And as I said in the beginning video about risk, there's so much risk being put onto the staffing agency to do this, right? Because as a staffing agency, they don't pay, the business does not pay the staffing agency until the position is filled. And so this is really the biggest piece of the difference between staffing agencies getting companies a position and career coaching, really because of the risk, right? And as you'll see in this video, the career coaching is a lot more distributed risk, and it is about 10 times cheaper. So again, we're talking about staffing agencies filling a position. I say it's a $200,000 position. It's 20%. Now it could be 25%, so it could be $45,000. But let's just go with 40,000. And so the whole idea with staffing agencies is there's a lot of upfront work that needs to be done, right? You send out all these candidates. Maybe you send 4 or 5 candidates to a particular company. They only like one of them. They interview that one, and they don't like him. And then you do it again. So you might be working a month on a position, maybe 2 months on a position, maybe 3 months on a position, and you're not getting paid. And if you have an established business, there's employees that you have to pay for at that time. There's fixed expenses. You might have an office. You have job boards that you're subscribing to. You have different types of subscriptions that you use. Let's say Zoom Info, or whatever types of subscriptions you're using. And so there's a lot of fixed expenses you're carrying while this is going on. So there's a tremendous amount of risk on the side of the staffing agency. And high risk, high reward. That's how things work. High risk, high reward. So makes sense that if they're going to put so much risk on them, on a staffing agency to fill this position, they should be getting compensated correctly. Furthermore, a lot of staffing agencies have guarantees. So there's something like a 30-day guarantee, 60-day guarantee, 90-day guarantee. And if there's let's say hypothetically there's a 90-day guarantee, that person can then work there for that company for 89 days, and the 89th day, if they don't work out and they say they don't want them, they don't get paid. So tremendous amount of risk, but also pretty high fee, $40,000. So let's talk about how the differences are. Let's say, for sake of this example, career coaching is $4,000. And so already we see a $36,000 gap. In other words, career coaching would be $4,000 to get them the position, and the staffing agency would get $40,000 to get them the position. So big difference, 10 times as much money. And this is mainly because the risk. So really about when you're working with a career coach that's actually going through the entire career journey, not just doing the resume writing, we're talking about setting up a whole marketing campaign to get you to that next position. And so in doing this, there is more distributed risk, right? And also it depends more on believing in yourself and having faith in your abilities to do the work, because it's the same actual work. With the staffing agency, you're, let's say, reaching out to all these different companies, hiring managers, see who's hiring, see who needs help, see who is open to receiving help to fill the position, right? And as a career coach, I'm actually doing the same exact things. We're reaching out to hiring managers, but the difference, of course, is that I'm coaching you to market yourself and sell yourself for these roles. And you're paying me more or less upfront for this. So the risk is more evenly distributed. It's much more evenly distributed. And also when you are reaching out to a particular prospective employer and you say, hey, I want to work at this company, and there's no fee attached to me, well, they're going to respond more than, well, what kind of, is it going to cost me anything? No, it doesn't cost you anything. You just get great talent. Whereas you would have to pay $40,000 for that other person. So that's where the risk factor is. It's really a big factor there. And then also, I think what's also really important is the fact that with career coaching, you actually get a partner on your side, someone that's dedicated to one individual, as opposed to when you're working as a staffing agency, working as a recruiter for a corporation. It's not necessarily the person that matters more. It is that the position gets filled. So if let's say you're looking to be an accountant, they reach out to you for a position that's more in financial planning and analysis, and you're like, no, I really want to do more accounting work. I don't want to work with like stocks and this type of thing. You say, okay, well, I can't help you. Recruiters are there for a specific role to fill a specific skill set. They're not going to be just going around working whatever position that you want them to work on. I mean, of course, they say, I'll keep an eye out. I keep an eye out for you. Yeah, if I see anything, I keep an eye out for you. But there's no invested interest for them to actually do that. It's just a common courtesy. They're not actually going to help you. The economics are not on your side. So that's why I think it's important to really make distinctions here, because it may seem like, oh yeah, this recruiter is going to help me, but reality is they have no invested interest to help you unless you are that specific person that fits a specific role with a specific skill set that the hiring manager is looking for and is paying them a fee to fill. So yeah, career coaching is really working with you to kind of go on the journey to find the position that you want. And this is just so totally different than recruiting is. And the fee structure, of course, is completely different as well. So it really is, about three different pieces. There's the number one, the person that pays holds all the power. Number two, the risk factor. and number three, the amount of money spent. So like if you say, okay, yeah, I want you to guarantee a position for me. Well, in that case, it's like, well, if you want a guarantee similar to one that is like a recruiter would for a business, you have to pay similarly. So if you say, okay, I want you to take all the risk, sure, I'll take all the risk. Are you going to spend $40,000? Probably not. Probably not. If you're a corporation that's making billions of dollars, $100,000, not 100,000, let's say 10,000 employees making $3 billion in revenue every year. Okay, well, we need someone that's really going to push this project forward, and it's hard to find the skill set, and we need to, and the loss in productivity is worth us to spend $40,000 on finding someone. We want the right person. Makes sense. But as a single individual, one human being on their own, looking to grow in their career, they're gonna spend $40,000 to do that. Wow, it's a lot harder to swallow. It has to. The math has to math at the end of the day. So it's like, maybe if you are, someone that is, making $500,000, and you want someone to work with you to get you to the next 250. Okay, well, $50,000 you'll pay, and it's like I can work with you to get you there. I just wanted to share that. That's my video for today. Thanks for watching.